Hi guys, welcome to this exploration into one of humanity's most primal urges, revenge. It's a force that has shaped epics, from ancient myths to modern thrillers, driven wars, and whispered vendettas. But what lies beneath this desire to get even? Today, we'll dissect the psychology of revenge not as a glorification, but as a lens into the human mind. We'll journey through its evolutionary origins, emotional underpinnings, cognitive mechanisms, social influences, neurological basis, potential pitfalls, and paths to transcendence. Buckle up. This is no superficial look. We'll go deep, layer by layer, uncovering why revenge feels so intoxicating, yet often leaves us hollow. To understand revenge, we must rewind to our ancestral past. Evolutionary psychologists argue that revenge isn't just a flaw, it's an adaptation honed over millennia. Imagine our hunter-gatherer forebears, resources scarce, threats constant. If someone stole your food or harmed your kin, letting it slide could signal weakness, inviting more exploitation. Revenge served as a deterrent, a way to restore balance and protect the group. Robert Trevor's theory of reciprocal altruism comes into play here. In social exchanges, we expect fairness. When betrayed, revenge enforces norms, saying, cheat me and pay the price. Studies on primates, like chimpanzees, show similar behaviors. Alpha males retaliate against challengers to maintain hierarchy. In humans, this manifests in tit-for-tat strategies, as seen in game theory experiments like the prisoner's dilemma. Participants who punish defectors foster long-term cooperation. But evolution isn't destiny. In modern societies, where legal systems handle disputes, this instinct can misfire. Yet, it persists because our brains are wired for survival in a world that no longer exists. Consider how revenge fantasies surge in road rage or online trolls, echoes of ancient tribalism in a digital age. At revenge's heart pulses emotion. Primary among them is anger, a high arousal state that mobilizes us for action. Psychologist Nico Friedger describes emotions as action tendencies. Anger propels us toward confrontation. But revenge isn't blind rage. It's calculated, often simmering from humiliation. Humiliation strikes at our self-worth. When wronged, we feel diminished, our identity threatened. Revenge restores that it's a psychological salve. Research by June Tangney on shame and guilt differentiates. Guilt prompts repair, but shame tied to humiliation fuels vengeance. In experiments, participants humiliated in lab settings, for example, via rigged games, showed heightened aggression toward the offender. Then there's the illusion of justice. Revenge masquerades as equity, invoking the just world hypothesis by Melvin Lerner. We believe good deeds are rewarded, bad ones punished. When injustice shatters this, revenge reasserts order. But is it true justice? Philosophers like Aristotle saw revenge as proportionate retribution, yet psychologists note it often escalates, turning victims into perpetrators. Emotions don't act alone, they interplay. Envy can spark revenge if we perceive unfair advantages. Schadenfreude, pleasure in others' misfortune, rewards successful vengeance, yet beneath it all lurks fear. Fear of vulnerability, of being seen as weak. This emotional cocktail explains why revenge feels cathartic in the moment, like scratching an itch that only worsens the wound. Revenge isn't impulsive, it's a mental marathon. Central is rumination, obsessive replaying of the offense. Aaron Beck's cognitive theory posits that distorted thinking amplifies grievances. They meant to hurt me, or I must respond or lose respect. This creates a feedback loop where thoughts intensify emotions, justifying action. Rationalization follows. We bend morals to fit our narrative. Albert Bandura's concept of moral disengagement explains how good people do bad things, dehumanizing the target, they're monsters, minimizing harm, it's just payback, or displacing responsibility, society made me. In Revenge, we reframe aggression as heroism. Decision-making under revenge involves biased risk assessment. Prospect theory by Kahneman and Tversky shows we overvalue losses, the wrong, over gains, reconciliation. Thus we pursue vengeance despite high costs. Neuroimaging studies reveal the prefrontal cortex, seat of planning, activates alongside the amygdala's emotional fire, blending cold calculation with hot fury. Cultural scripts shape these cognitions. In honor cultures, like parts of the Mediterranean or American South, slights demand response to preserve face. Experiments by Richard Nisbett demonstrate this. Insulted Southerners show higher cortisol and testosterone, priming aggression. Cognition, then, isn't isolated, it's sculpted by environment. Revenge thrives in social webs. It's performative, signaling to others, don't mess with me. Social identity theory by Henri Tajfel suggests group-based revenge, like ethnic conflicts, stems from in-group favoritism and out-group derogation. When one member is harmed, the collective seeks retribution, as in gang wars or nationalist uprisings. Cultures vary wildly. In collectivist societies, like Japan, revenge might be subtle through social ostracism, aligning with harmony norms. Contrast with individualistic cultures where personal vendettas dominate films like John Wick. Anthropologist Napoleon Chagnon's work on Yanomami tribes shows revenge as a cycle. One killing begets another, sustaining warfare. Media amplifies this. Vicarious revenge in stories provides safe catharsis. Per transportation theory, viewers immerse, feeling avenged without risk. But real-world vigilantism, like cyberdoxing, blurs lines. Social media enables cancel culture, a digital revenge where crowds punish perceived wrongs, often disproportionately. Gender plays a role too. Stereotypes paint men as physically vengeful, women as relational, for example, gossip. Research by Anne Campbell challenges this. Both genders seek revenge, but methods differ due to socialization. Ultimately, social contexts either curb or catalyze revenge, turning personal slights into communal crusades. Delving deeper, neuroscience illuminates revenge's allure. The brain's reward center, the nucleus accumbens, lights up during vengeful acts. A study by Dominique de Kervin, using PET scans, found that punishing unfair players activates this area, releasing dopamine, the pleasure chemical. The insula, detecting disgust and unfairness, triggers when wronged, syncing with the anterior cingulate cortex for conflict detection. This neural alarm system demands resolution. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, paradoxically fuels in-group revenge by enhancing empathy for allies while demonizing outsiders. Chronic revenge-seeking ties to disorders. In borderline personality disorder, rejection sensitivity amplifies vengeful impulses. PTSD victims may reenact trauma through revenge fantasies as coping. Therapies like DBT target these by rewiring neural paths, teaching emotional regulation. Addiction parallels emerge. Revenge provides a high, but tolerance builds, demanding escalation. Withdrawal, lingering resentment. Understanding this biology demystifies why forgiveness feels harder. It's swimming against neural currents. Revenge promises satisfaction, but delivers regret. Michael McCullough's research shows avengers often feel worse post-act, as initial euphoria fades, revealing moral dissonance. The revenge paradox. It doesn't heal, it perpetuates pain. On victims, revenge can re-traumatize, reinforcing powerlessness. Societally, it erodes trust, think blood feuds in Albania, where generations suffer. Economically, corporate revenge, for example, sabotage, costs billions. Psychologically, it fosters narcissism, overvaluing one's pain, undervaluing others. Long-term, it correlates with depression, anxiety. Ruminators report lower life satisfaction per Sonia Lubomirski's studies. In extreme, it leads to violence. School shootings often stem from perceived slights. Yet, not all consequences are negative. Controlled revenge, like whistleblowing, can empower, but unchecked, it's a trap, binding avenger to offender indefinitely. If revenge is poison, forgiveness is antidote. But it's no panacea, requires empathy. Per Everett Worthington's REACH model, recall, hurt, empathize, altruistic gift, commit, hold on. Cognitive behavioral therapy disrupts vengeful cycles by challenging distortions. Mindfulness reduces rumination, as John Kabat-Zinn's practices show. Restorative justice programs like victim-offender mediation foster understanding over punishment. Legal systems evolve to outsource revenge. Trials provide closure without personal risk. Education promotes emotional intelligence, curbing impulses early. Spiritually, many traditions advocate transcendence. Buddhism's metta for compassion, Christianity's turn the other cheek. Empirical data supports. Forgivers enjoy better health, lower blood pressure. Section 8. Historical and contemporary case studies, flashbacks, Shakespearean tragedies, real-world events like the Rwandan genocide reconciliation. History brims with revenge tales. Hamlet's delay illustrates rumination's paralysis. The Trojan War, sparked by Paris's abduction, shows escalation. Modernly, post-9/11 policies reflect collective revenge with mixed outcomes. In psychology, the Milgram experiments echo how authority enables vengeful obedience. Personal stories. Nelson Mandela's forgiveness post-apartheid prevented cycles, boosting national healing. Contrast with ongoing Middle East conflicts where revenge sustains strife. These cases underscore revenge is human, but so is choice. We've traversed the labyrinth of revenge, from primal instincts to neural sparks, social spirals to healing paths. It's a mirror to our depths, capable of destruction, yet redemption. Remember, the ultimate revenge might be living well, unbound by grudges. Thank you for joining this odyssey into the mind's shadows.